a New York City-based organization providing restaurant-quality food to those in need. All that and more on today's Common Good, presented by Amazon. Hey y'all, and welcome to Common Good. I'm Alejandro Alba. Evie Loves NYC is a 100% volunteer-run nonprofit that brings meals to New Yorkers in need. Evie Loves NYC partners with different volunteer chefs to provide high-quality, nutritious meals.
You know, I've really got this sense that if we want a different city, we shouldn't just talk about the different city that we want, we should really contribute to that. We actually started in the pandemic, in the first few weeks when New York went into lockdown, because all the cafes were closed, the restaurants were closed, there was no hot food in the city for the people that needed it the most. People just started gathering around from all around the neighborhood, and it just kept growing and growing like that to the point where we've had over 2,000 people through our doors. So the food that we serve is like the highest quality. We rotate with different volunteer chefs. We've got chefs from all the different communities in the city. So we represent different cultures through our food. We want people to feel that just because they're food insecure, they shouldn't get a low quality meal. It should be really high quality stuff that we want to eat.
We accommodate many dietary restrictions and cultural diversity. So we're conscious to have something that can be halal or kosher friendly versus people having more of a desire for pork because culturally it's what they're used to in their dishes.
Every Sunday, we get here around about 8 o'clock. The rice team's been here since 6:30 when we arrive, so the rice team get here super early. We're making 2,000 meals every Sunday. They're going out to all over the city. So the chopping team comes around about 8 o'clock on the first prep team, and they come and start preparing all the food and getting all the chopping and the ingredients ready. And then around about 12 o'clock, a new team comes in, that's the serving team. We're gonna set up in the back. And then after that, we've got the cleaning team's gonna come in and clean up the whole thing, because obviously 2,000 meals makes a lot of mess. So starting around 8 a.m., finishing around 5 or 6 p.m. sometimes.
What I created this week was some of my personal favorites. I have this creamy tofu noodle recipe that I like that's Asian inspired, so using 5-spice, some sesame oil, soy sauce, puree it down with tofu, and you get a creamy consistency like an Alfredo almost. One of the meat dishes is going to be dan dan noodles, and then the more accommodating dish would be the chicken. We're going to be doing a 5-spice bake, and that creates all these nice juices that we can then cook bok choy down in as well on stovetop, fry it up, and that gets served over rice. So just a savory chicken dish over rice.
Which one is it? This pasta? No, here. You need to grab this guy and put it into your. Okay.
Did you get enough today, by the way?
Of course. Oh, yes, please. This is the greatest place in the world.
Of course, darling. Where the food goes is one of the most exciting things for us, because we don't assume that we know where the hungriest people in our city are. So what we do, we've got around about 65 organisations in the city that partner with us, and they let us know what they're going to need that week, and then they come to pick the food up. Our food goes everywhere. It goes to the Bronx, it goes to the deep end of Brooklyn where it's needed most, goes up to Harlem. And so it gets distributed through the people that are down on the ground, working with the hungriest people in the city who know what the needs are. I know that we're not saving the world by doing this work. We're just touching a tiny, tiny little part of the city. But I think the thing that I enjoy the most is that feeling like a wave of love is going out across the city, and feeling like there's people out there that we won't ever see that's going to open the food and is going to eat something and is not going to be hungry just for a minute, just because of the work that everybody's doing as a collective here.
Our See Good, Do Good challenge this week is to support a food donation organization, whether it be donating to your local food pantry or volunteering at a soup kitchen. Your efforts can go a long way in helping those in need. After all, whether big or small, one act of common good can change the world. That's it for today. I'd like to thank Amazon for presenting this episode. Make joy this holiday season with Amazon. Thanks so much for watching Common Good.